Hey guys. This is my very first texting video. I'm so hot kind of face. Ya might know me from TikTok, if ya ever came across an account called 𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑 of face. If ya followed me on TikTok before, you'd know I've been meaning to delete the account since September this year, but I did it slowly, because I'm sadistic ASF. Haha, eat my toes kind of face. Anywho, this video contains the ship sakuatsuiwaoi and 𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑 I decided to do this polyship video. That made zero sense. I've made a texting video once, but never posted it, since I never finished the story. Cause I'm a lazy piece of kind of face. I know Christmas is over, but I started writing this on Christmas, so leave me alone, butcher knife. And full warning. I'm not going to make this a daily thing, let alone will I promise to post again. I'm only doing this because it's still break time and I just have the free time to do so, pregnant woman. And another note. I do not own the 𝚑𝚘𝚘𝚘 characters in the video. All original credits go to Hiroji Furuta. And don't mind if there are some vulgar language being used, as this is their time skip version of themselves. The characters are the age they are supposed to be right now, which is 27, 27, 26, 26, 27, 28, 28, and a special guest, Mamma Mia. The names in my story are all written in Japanese, given my current studies. Lalalala. I really hate studying, please help me, kind of face. P.S. I didn't use any fan art because I'm way too scared to get copyrighted, and I also didn't wanna ask the artist to borrow their picture. Bitch, I'm literally terrified of artists, kind of face. Anywho, enjoy the video. Christmas was a holiday to be celebrated greatly in the Mia household. Mamma Mia would spoil her twins every time Christmas came around. The two eventually grew in the habit of taking Christmas to a next level. Since now they're older, the two try to make some time for each other during the holidays. Christmas was no exception to this. Mia Atsumu and Mia Osamu shared their love for Christmas with their significant others. They would even drag them to countless festivals that radiated all through Osaka, Japan. It's Iwaizumi and Oikawa's first Christmas with the Miyas, since they only recently just got together. To say they were excited and nervous was an understatement of the year. Iwaizumi didn't really celebrate Christmas. His family was always big on the idea of New Year's being more special. And Oikawa's family rarely celebrated, due to busy schedules. Are ya guys excited? Atsumu was bouncing on his feet, like a child who ate a box of candies. His smile was radiating such joy, and his lovers can't help but replicate that smile. Calm down, Atsu, you're going to make Haji and Toru more nervous. Kiyumi laughed at his lover. Sakusa used to hate the holiday, having to spend it alone majority throughout his childhood. It wasn't that his parents were bad parents, they just never had time to sit and relax during the holidays. Business would be, well, busy. His parents did their best to make the holiday memorable, but Sakusa always wanted more. Until he met Mia Atsumu, the absolute love of his life, though he would never admit it to his face. The fake blonde has an ego higher than his fan count. He didn't want to be the reason to make it any higher. When Sakusa celebrated his first Christmas with the Mia twins, plus Suna Rintaro, he grew to love the holiday. He spent Christmas 2 times with them, before Osamu and Suna mentioned that they were dating his cousin, Komori Matoya. This meant, this would be his 4th Christmas with the Miyas. He was beyond happy to hear about the news, given the countless pining talks he had to deal with. Komori constantly showing up to his apartment, unannounced, crying about how amazing Osamu and Suna is. Don't get him wrong. He loves and cares for his cousin. After all, he was his only friend throughout his childhood. He owes him so much, that's why he easily accepted the news with such joy. I know Omi, but I'm just so excited. It's the first time Toru and Haji gets to spend Christmas with us. I think I'm more excited to see the decorations. Toru chimes in, smiling softly at the gleaming sparkle in Atsumu's eyes. Although Oikawa didn't celebrate the holiday like the Miyas, he used to take Iwaizumi to light shows, since they were little. He enjoyed watching Christmas lights. I'm sure it's going to look amazing. This is Atsumu we're talking about. The 3 of them laugh, while Atsumu puffs out his cheeks in annoyance. Don't pout, we should get going. Kiyomi says, looking at his phone for the time. It was 12:34 in the afternoon, and they have to take a 2-hour drive. Osamu lived a little farther, due to the location of his restaurant. He wanted to be able to live above his restaurant or at least near it. He found himself lucky to live right above it, making opening the restaurant a breeze. You're right, we have to leave if we wanna avoid traffic. Then what are we waiting for? Let's go. Atsumu starts to push his lovers out the door, not giving them time to properly put their shoes on. He closes the door, making sure to lock it. Kiyomi goes to the driver's seat. Given he was the more rational driver, he was less likely to go into a fit of road rage, compared to Toru or Atsumu. Atsumu sat on the passenger seat, being carsick and all. Hajime and Toru never complained about it, since it was fair. Atsumu was always in the front, be it driving or in the passenger seat. Are you guys ready? The three gave an affirmative thumbs up, making Kiyomi roll his eyes. He pulled out the driveway, with complete ease. Remind me why I have a kink for Kiyo's driving? Same. Hajime scoffed, looking weirdly at both his lovers. Like he himself didn't just simp over Kiyomi's driving 3 days ago. But no one needed to know that. Arrive at Osasunakomo house, more like rest house. The restaurant was closed, given it was Christmas Eve. Osamu would have taken advantage of the customers' count for the holidays, but he prefers to celebrate it with his own family and lovers. Hurry, I'm parking, hold on. Atsumu, being Atsumu, opens the car door while it was still moving. He hurriedly jumps out, ignoring the scolding his boyfriends were giving. Osamu, along with Rintoya and Matoya were waiting outside, standing in front of the restaurant. Rintoya and Matoya laughed wholeheartedly, watching Atsumu jump out of the car, midway into Kiyomi backing up. That's your brother. Oh my tuna rolls. Rintoya and Matoya did a double take at Osamu's direction. He only gave a sly smile, strutting towards his running twin. Samu. Yeah scrub. Yeah, I hear ya. The twins crash in a tight hug. They've been both busy, hardly seeing each other. Which is why, Atsumu and Osamu worked hard to get a day off for the holidays. I miss ya, ugly. Shut up, miss ya too. There were footsteps rushing towards the Miya twins, along with slight panting. Kiyomi, Toru, and Hajime rushed to Atsumu. Atsu, are you crazy? You could have gotten hurt. Toru scolds, in between gasping breaths. Talk about national athlete. Never in my 28 years of living, have I witnessed someone do something utterly stupid and crazy. Atsumu pulled away from his brother's grip, rolling his eyes at his lovers. Yeah, act like I jumped out of a car that was driving 105 miles per hour. Hajime and Toru stared at Atsumu like a wild man. Did this guy really just try to justify his actions? They looked at Kiyomi, who seemed so unbothered with it. Okay, why don't we go inside? It's getting cold. Princess can't handle the cold? Aren't you the one who asked me to? Rintoya does not get to finish that sentence, with a tumbling Atsumu jumping onto him. He groans in pain, while Matoya laughs. His dear lover laughs at his pain. Ouch. I'm definitely making a birthday card out of this. Matoya laughs even harder, showing the picture to Osamu, who in return, also laughs. What did Rintoya do to deserve this? A lot. All situated in the living room, while Osamu helped Atsumu put the gifts under the Christmas tree. It's nice, isn't it? Kiyomi says, watching Toru and Hajime's mouth hang agape at the decorations in the house. Toru didn't think a small house could fit this much decorations, but here was Miya Osamu proving him so wrong. The house was completely covered from top to bottom, not a single spot untouched. The small house was decorated with green garland, white and green wreaths, candles, fake ones, of course, gnomes, ornaments, lights, a mistletoe under the entrance of the kitchen, and a damn snow machine, for the enormous Christmas tree. You weren't lying when you said, the Miyas go all out. Toru said, mouth still agape at the Christmas decorations. It almost puts the Osaka Light Festival to shame. Kiyomi laughs, along with Rintoya who was listening to the three. He handed them a cup of hot chocolate, beside Kiyomi. Kiyomi doesn't like milk, instead he drinks peppermint tea. Thank you. Rintoya hums, walking towards Matoya who was sitting on the couch watching some random TikTok videos. So, what do ya think? Atsumu asks cheerfully, popping out of nowhere. If it weren't for the tight grip Toru had on his cup, it would have spilled on the carpet. The obviously white snowy carpet. When you said, light decorations, I thought you really meant light decorations. Atsumu tilts his head, and looks around the house, then turns back to Toru and Hajime. This is light decorations? Hajime and Toru had to hold the urge to roll their eyes at the back of their heads. Because in what world, was this light decorations? It is. Was all Kiyomi says, before leaving Atsumu with Hajime and Toru. He went to join Matoya and Rintaro on the couch. Atsu, love of my life, this is not light decorations. You remember the store we passed by, the one with the snowman? Yeah? That store, was the definition of light decorations. Toru tries to explain. He says it in such a slow manner, hoping Atsumu would understand. That's just lazy work. What ya guys talking about? Osamu peers behind Atsumu, who does not flinch whatsoever. Twin telepathy is scary. They think this isn't light decorations. Atsumu tells his twin, with a voice that sounds completely shocked. Osamu takes a good look at his house, before facing Hajime and Toru. This is light decorations. In what world? You guys should drop it. There's no point in arguing with Christmas decorations with the Miya twins. Matoya says, situated on the couch. Rintaro agrees with Matoya. He spent one too many Christmas with the Miya twins to know this. It's light decoration to the Miyas. Ya say that like ya ain't wearing a ring on your finger. Osamu scowls at his fiancée. Osamu proposed to Suna when the middle blocker turned 25. Which was almost 2 years ago. They've been together since high school. Komori obviously wasn't engaged to either of them, given the obvious timeline. He had only started dating the two 2 years ago. But they were in no rush to marry. Suna and Osamu could wait another decade. I'm just saying. Rintaro raises his hands in defense. Osamu turns back to Hajime and Toru. I give up. Toru flails his arms to the ceiling, taking a seat next to Kiyomi with a pout. Kiyomi comfortingly rubs the side of his shoulders in a calming manner. He too, have dealt with the Miyas arguing with decorations. He sympathizes for the setter. I'm curious. Hajime starts, getting the attention of everyone in the room. If this isn't heavy decorations, what is heavy decorations to the both of you? Rintaro, Matoya, and Kiyomi groan, almost like they were in pain. Oh shut up. Ya being a bit dramatic. Osamu agrees with his twin. A first for everything. I've only heard about the talks once, and I couldn't handle it. I don't want to imagine what Kiyo had to go through, especially Rin. The twins ignore Matoya, telling Hajime to sit down. Osamu leaves to the bedroom, grabbing a big box and placing it in front of them. The box was filled with pictures, videotapes, and old decorations. Ya still have it? Atsumu says, peering inside the box to find small trinkets of elves. Some were broken, while others looked covered in dust. Yes, I do. Osamu says, grabbing an album and closing the box, hitting Atsumu on the nose. But before Atsumu could complain, Osamu is talking about the pictures in the album. 5:20 p.m. Miya Osamu talked for 2 hours straight about the Christmas decorations they'd used to put up as kids. Hajime and Toru listened intently, with Atsumu and Osamu threatening to give them a pop quiz. I regret ever asking. Kiyomi and Matoya send a death glare to Hajime's direction. As if they were telling him you did this. It sent shivers down his spine. I stand corrected. This is light decorations. I would like to apologize for my assumptions. The Miya twins looked pleased with the results. Osamu claps his hands, loudly, startling Rintaro awake from his small nap. Rintaro heard this story several times and did not need to hear it again. I'll start the dinner preparations. I'll help. Matoya exclaims, moving off the couch and heading towards the kitchen. And when the hell can you cook? Kiyomi says, raising one eyebrow towards his cousin. For your information Kiyo, I have a wonderful boyfriend who teaches me how to cook. Matoya says, holding Osamu around the waist and peering at the side to stick out his tongue. What a little shit. Kiyomi rolls his eyes, turning his attention to Atsumu, who was happily humming to the touch. Kiyomi was combing out his hair and petting his head. It's only 5? Why is he preparing dinner so early? Rintaro laughs, leaving the four, heading towards the kitchen. Toru stares in Rintaro's direction, with a confused expression. Did he say something funny? Ignore Rin, he's being stupid. I heard that. Good, yeah we're supposed to. Atsumu barks out a laugh, sticking out his tongue at Rintaro, like it was supposed to hurt him. Stop doing that. It takes a while to make Osamu's famous pudding recipe. And they make a lot, I mean a lot of food. Kiyomi says, turning his attention to Toru. He was leaning back in the couch, mindlessly scrolling on his phone. Is the pudding good? I don't think it takes that long to make simple pudding. Atsumu audibly gasps, including Osasunakomo, almost like Toru said a crime-worthy statement of the year. Samu's pudding is incomparable to any pudding ya had in your life. Darn right it is. What he said. Rintarou says, pointing his finger at Osamu, who slaps his hand away. I think you're overreacting. Toru, darling, love of my life, let's not argue. Hajime leans close to Toru, to whisper. You might not see Christmas tomorrow. Toru drops the conversation. Sakuatsuiwaoi and Osasunakomo sat peacefully in the dining room. Kiyomi and Atsumu were fixing up the plates. Toru and Hajime offered to help but were politely declined. Atsumu said, they should relax and enjoy themselves. Since it was going to be the first of many Christmas with the Miyas, I feel like a princess. Kiyomi laughs at his lover. He walks towards the athletic trainer, placing a soft kiss on his forehead. Sometimes you are sweetheart. Toru tugs at Kiyomi's shirt, grabbing the spiker's attention. He tilts his head, but Toru only taps lightly on his forehead. There was a blush apparent on his face. Kiyomi chuckles softly before planting a soft kiss on his forehead. I do not want to see my cousin being sappy. Thank you very much. Matoya fake gags. Why, jealous? I have two amazing boyfriends. I don't need to be jealous. Matoya says, placing down a plate in front of Rintarou. The middle blocker kisses his cheeks, saying a silent thank you. And I got 3. Kiyomi says, triumphantly. A smirk plastered on his face, like he won a small battle between them. It's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. Matoya explains, taking a seat next to Rintarou and Toru. Ya sayin' we ain't a good quality? Atsumu teases Matoya. Never mind, let's eat, I'm starving. Everyone laughed on the table.
Itadakimasu.
They say in unison, digging in. This is the seating arrangements. I think I might just give birth on this table. I didn't think I could eat that much in one sitting. Both Hajime and Toru said, rubbing their bellies like some 28-years-old woman who gave birth and drank a nice glass of wine. I'm glad ya liked it. I usually have more, but I forgot to buy the ingredients and most places are closed. There was supposed to be more? Don't beat yourself up, the food was amazing babe. Rintarou kisses his boyfriend's slightly pouting lips. What time is it? Atsumu screeched, jumping out of his chair and rushing towards the Christmas tree. It's 8:40 p.m. Kiyomi informs Atsumu. Osamu is pulling out of Rintarou's grasp to take a seat next to Atsumu. Why are they just sitting there? It almost looks unnerving. Everyone besides the 𝚑𝚘𝚘 twins were cleaning the table and Kiyomi goes to the kitchen, starting on the dishes. They're waiting. Matoya whispers to them. The twins had an iPad in front of them, looking at it with intent eyes. What for? Mamma mia. Rintarou says nonchalantly. Since the Miyas lived far away from their mother, they got less time with her. And the more busy their lives got, Mamma Mia couldn't always see her baby boys. She misses them dearly. So in return, the 𝚑𝚘𝚘 twins made a deal to open at least the gifts she bought for them on Christmas Eve. Mamma Mia would have wanted her twins to open the gift on Christmas, but she wanted them to enjoy the holiday with their own respective partners. She knew her boys were creating a family of their own. It was time for Mamma Mia to let the boys go, but she will forever have a soft spot for her twins. That is why they built a new tradition for Christmas Eve. And that's why they're waiting. Kiyomi explains, finishing the last bit of the dishes. That's so sweet. I'm falling in love again. Toru gushes towards Atsumu's direction. Silent, until the sound of ringing can be heard from the iPad. Everyone in the room becomes more silent, if that were possible. Atsumu picks up the call, and sees his mom waving happily at her boys. Miya Asuka, the mother of Atsumu and Osamu, also known as Mamma Mia. She was a mixture of both Atsumu and Osamu, being that she is their mother. She had an outgoing and bubbly personality, replicating the ones from Atsumu. But she was also quiet and reserved, around people she felt weary of, like Osamu was. My baby boys. Asuka exclaims, and the twins have to stifle the embarrassment they feel knowing their partners were watching them. Hi mama, how are ya? Atsumu speaks up, smiling softly at his mother. If 𝚤𝚤𝚐𝚐𝚘 was 16, he would have instantly hanged up on the embarrassing encounter with his mother. But 𝚤𝚤𝚐𝚘 was 27, missing his mother's affection. It explains why both the 𝚤𝚤 twins can be very affectionate, especially towards the things they love so much. Asuka always made sure to surround her twins with absolute love, knowing her boys would never know what it was like to have a father figure growing up. I've been great. What about ya too? I'm good, ma. Have ya eaten? Yes, but speaking of eating, I miss your cooking pumpkin. Asuka says. Oh, that dear awful nickname, Pumpkin. Asuka always had a nickname to call for Atsumu or Osamu, long before they came up with a nickname for each other. Osamu was Pumpkin. Atsumu was Buttercup. Weird nicknames, but the 𝚤𝚤 twins grew used to it. It made Asuka happy, and that's all that mattered. I promise to come sometime next month and make ya food. Osamu tells his mom, and her smile beams even brighter. Definitely from Atsumu. Buttercup, where is Oikawa-kun and Iwaizumi-kun? Toru and Hajime, who were only listening quietly to the conversation, jumped slightly where they were seated, away from the camera's view. Sitting in the dining room, Atsumu tells his mother, as he turns to smirk at his boyfriends, their face evident with intimidation. They did not expect to meet Mama Mia so soon. They weren't ready. Nope, not one bit. Well, tell them to come here. I wanna meet your partners. Okay, mama. Atsumu leaves the camera view, and walks towards the kitchen. He sees both Hajime and Toru shaking their heads violently, as if that would stop Atsumu. Come on, I promise she'll love ya both. Yeah, I mean she accepted Kiyo with easy open arms. Matoya barks out a laugh, thinking his joke was funny. The jab to his stomach, says differently. I won't force ya, but ya guys been putting it off for a while now. You're right. I'm just nervous. I want the infamous Mama Mia to love us. Yeah, we spent way too long pining. And I want her to love us, the way she loves Kiyo. Atsumu softly smiles at her boyfriends. And she will. Atsumu tells them. Why don't we all go? Plus I miss Mama Mia. Kiyumi says, standing and holding out a hand to his lover. Atsumu doing the same. Hajime and Toru grab a hold of their hands, following Atsumu to the living room. Ma, I'll let Tsumu and his partners talk to ya. I'll bring Toya and Rin later. Okay, Pumpkin. Asuka tells her son, seeing Osamu leave the screen. Good luck. Osamu pats both Hajime's and Toru's back in support. Tsumu went to the camera's view first, letting both Hajime and Toru prepare themselves. Hi, my buttercup. Where are they? Hold on, mama. Atsumu pats the floor next to him, and the first person to come into Asuka's view was Kiyumi. Her smile brightened even more at the sight of Kiyumi. Hi, Mama Mia. Kiyumi says, waving happily at the twins' mother. It was a rare sight to see Kiyumi get remotely excited to anything. But Asuka always had that affect on the people around her. Ah, my other baby boy. How are ya, darling? Kiyumi smiled fondly at the mother. He really did love and care about her. She treated Kiyumi like her own. I've been great. I'm glad. Atsumu smiles at the interaction. He remembers the first time Kiyumi met his mother. It was a complete wreck. Kiyumi was sweating balls, and crying about how Asuka would never like a person like him. Yet here he was, getting along with Asuka. Okay, ma, time for you to meet my other boyfriends. Atsumu barked out a laugh. Other boyfriends. Yet Atsumu could get used to saying that. First let me introduce ya guys. Atsumu pats the floor and two people come into Asuka's view. She realizes that they were all wearing matching sweaters, but in different color. Atsumu was wearing yellow. Kiyumi was wearing green. Toru was wearing turquoise. And Hajime was wearing purple. Ma, this is Hajime and Toru. Atsumu says, and then turns around to face his partners. Toru and Hajime, this is Miya Asuka, also known as Mama Mia. Atsumu finishes introducing his boyfriends. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miya-san. Hajime speaks up first, palms sweaty. Kiyumi had moved next to Hajime, and held his hand tightly for reassurance. Asuka starts laughing, wiping the tears that pricked from the side of her eyes. Both Toru and Hajime were stunned to say the least. Sorry. Asuka hurriedly says, calming down. Ya don't need to be so formal, Iwaizumi-kun. I already accepted ya when Atsumu mentioned about the two of ya. Asuka says, and Atsumu is smiling fondly at the response. He knew his mother will always accept the people Atsumu loves, because she loves both her baby boys. And if someone in the world can make them as happy as she did once, that's all there is to it. Thank you, ma'am. Hajime says it, but in a less formal tone. Mamma mia, call me Mamma mia. Asuka says to the both of them. They both nod. I want to talk to Iwaizumi-kun and Oikawa-kun alone, Buttercup. Atsumu just nods, taking Kiyomi with him. Hajime and Toru sit next to each other, back straight, and facing Asuka. Do you have something to tell us? Toru asks nervously. He knows Atsumu's mom already accepted them, but it was still nerve-wracking. I do. Asuka hums. The two look at her, tilting their heads like puppies. Thank ya. Huh? Asuka chuckles a little, before explaining. I wanted to thank ya, for loving my baby boy. He can be, a bit much to a lot of people. So thank ya for taking care of him. My Buttercup talks a lot about ya too. Tells me about how much y'all take good care of him. Asuka reminisced a memory from 3 months ago. She got a phone call in the middle of the night, which she easily picked up knowing it was Atsumu. He was crying because he told me about how Yatu practically spoiled him. She remembered the crying voice of her son, as he spoke about Hajime making soup for him, and Toru preparing a warm bath for him. Asuka remembered Atsumu telling her how much it reminded him of his childhood. And that's exactly when Asuka knew. She knew Hajime and Toru were the right people for Atsumu. They showered him with the love she gave both her twins. I hope we can spend the next Christmas together. Asuka finished her story, smiling fondly at the two, now crying boys. We'll make sure to always take care of him, Mamma mia. We love him, we really do, and I hope to spend the next Christmas with you too, Mamma mia. They said, happy to get the approval of Mamma mia. I know. Now, it's getting late. Can ya please call over Osamu, Rintaro, and Matoya? Asuka didn't have to wait a moment longer, as the three came running full speed, pushing Iwaoi from the camera's view. Mamma mia. 1:48 p.m. I'm sleepy. Atsumu says, yawning tiredly. The seven of them decided to watch one Christmas movie after getting off the call with Asuka. Yeah, it's getting late. Kiyomi says, looking at his phone. The couple usually slept at different hours, but tonight they were all equally tired. I don't think Toru needs to be reminded. Hajime says in a soft voice. The two peer at Hajime's direction, seeing Toru sleeping soundly on his shoulders. I think it's time for us to sleep. Kiyomi says, getting up to stretch. Atsumu whines at the sudden movement. He was leaning on Kiyomi's shoulders throughout the movie. I'll take this one to bed. Hajime says, picking Toru up in a bridal style. All that years of training paid off, as it was easy to pick up any of his lovers. Even with the height disadvantage. Toru only slightly moves in Hajime's arm. Come on honey. Kiyomi says, holding his hand out to the sleepy Atsumu. Atsumu grabs his hand, and turns to look at the other three. 𝚤𝚐𝚞𝚂, we're sleeping soundly on each other. Should we wake them? No, but let's put a blanket over them. Kiyomi says, going to 𝚤𝚐𝚞𝚂's room to grab a blanket. He takes one side and gives the other to Atsumu. They place the blanket on top of the couple, tucking them in. Osamu was in the middle, with Rintaro sleeping on his shoulders, and Matoya was on Osamu's lap, slightly drooling. Oh. Kiyomi says, having no venom behind it. He really was happy for his cousin. Let's off the light, and just leave the TV on. Atsumu says, walking toward the light switch and pressing it off. Both Kiyomi and Atsumu walk into the guest room. Hajime and Toru were sleeping soundly next to each other, until they heard the door open. Love? Shh, go back to sleep. Kiyomi whispers to Hajime, laying next to him. Atsumu goes to the other side, Toru welcoming him in open arms. Cute. They all lay in silence, before Atsumu spoke up. It was already 12:05 a.m. Hey guys? Yes honey? Atsumu sits up slightly and faces his lovers. A soft smile was plastered on his face. He really does love them. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas honey. That's a wrap. I'm very happy kind of face. Thank ya for watching my Christmas special video. I want to apologize if there were any grammatical errors or misspellings. I did a lot of these in the middle of the night, when I was half dead. I'm just smiling through the pain kind of face. Anywho, I don't celebrate Christmas, but I have a headcanon of the Mia twins loving Christmas a lot and decided to make that as my first video. I hate writing headcanons but also love them kind of face. I really do hope ya guys enjoyed it, and sorry if the story made zero sense. I didn't exactly have an idea for this video, I just wanted to get it out before December was over. Don't judge me kind of face. Anyways, bye bye people. Stay safe heart.